The Amazing Digital Circus is one of the most popular indie animated pilots on YouTube right now. It's gotten hundreds of millions of views along with a huge fan base already making fan art and theories, all even before an episode 2 has been released. But does it really live up to the hype around it? To decide whether it does live up to the hype, I'm going to rate the Amazing Digital Circus in 5 different categories. These categories are plot, characters, soundtrack, and since this is a pilot episode, I will also be ranking it on how good it sets up a series. Then I will rate it overall. First, let's start with the plot. For an episode alone, it's pretty damn good. I was skeptical about the pilot when I first saw it, but it kept me from clicking off, so props to that. I think the plot overall of the episode is pretty good, and you get to see all the characters except for Zubo, but I'll get into that in a second. I don't really have any criticism for the plot of the episode, but it does feel like there's no climax. Yes, I am aware of the scene where Pomni enters the void, but since we really don't know what's going on, I don't really feel like it's a very big moment. Anyway, besides that, I'd still give the plot about a 9 out of 10. Anyway, on to the character section. Overall, the characters are pretty decent. I like the Pomni crying SpongeBob meme vibes, Jax's annoying but likable personality. Each and every character has their own unique style and personality, and each one distinguishable from each other, which is, kind of important if you're trying to introduce characters and make them memorable. The only problem I have with the character section is that Zubo kind of got done dirty in this episode. It's okay to have characters on screen in varying amounts, although Zubo can't be chalked up to something like this since she literally only got around like 5 minutes of screen time. Normally, I wouldn't call this out in a random episode, but this is the pilot episode, and you're supposed to introduce every single character pretty well in a pilot episode. So yeah, the exclusion for Zubo kind of tanks the score in characters, but I'll still give it an 8 out of 10 since it still has good characters, it just has some space to improve. Alright, on to the soundtrack. I don't really have much to say about this one. However, it does kind of lack in the department in which I'm actually ranking it. I'm ranking the soundtrack off of 2 things: how well it works in the pilot or episode, and how well it works as casual music to listen to. It works pretty well in the pilot, but it definitely lacks in the casual listen area. But I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Because it's still pretty good in the pilot, and that's what matters most. Alright, now we have whether it's a good pilot or not, and boy, I'm definitely gonna piss someone off. In my eyes, a good pilot sets up the world of a series, the basic premise. It could also give you a little information and leave you waiting for answers, begging for more. A good example of this is the Murder Drones pilot. It sets up the world of murder drones while also leaving unanswered questions. There's also the Hazbin Hotel pilot on YouTube, which doesn't end with a cliffhanger, but does set up the world very nicely. But what exactly am I getting at? Well, the Amazing Digital Circus does not do this well. It doesn't have me, sighing in exasperation when the credits roll, impatient and waiting for more. The only thing I thought was, oh hey look, it's that meme I keep seeing online. Sure, there is mystery and there's build up to future episodes, but it's not enough. There's also not enough information given about the world, which, could also just be part of the mystery aspect, but considering that the best theories we have is that Pomni is freaking Jesus, I doubt that we were given enough information. I feel like it could have been better, so I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, at least in how good of a pilot it was. However, I still need to rank it one more time, and that's overall. Overall, I'd give it an 8 out of 10, a passing grade. I'd definitely give this a watch if I were you, especially when the second episode comes out. A few suggestions I have are the characters. I wouldn't change any of their personalities, maybe just include Zubo more. And I already know they're not going to do this in episode 2, since that's what Gooseworks said in the Glitch X livestream in November. And perhaps the plot won't really need Zubo that much, except when she's given her own episode. Just don't hold back on how much Zubo you include. Not much to say about the soundtrack, but about the pilot, I'd say you just keep it as it is. I might just be like the 1% of people who didn't really feel hooked on it, since I guess over 200 million other people did feel hooked, so. Anyway, if you want me to rank or review other indie animated shows, please consider recommending them in the comments so I know which episodes to do in the future. I will probably review other shows that are a bit less known, maybe by Glitch, but I will definitely like to see your recommendations in the comments. If you want to see more things about indie animation, please leave a like and maybe consider subscribing. I will definitely be making more indie animation content in the future. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.